Some years ago, a small group of Baptist mid-missions missionaries sensed the need of moving further into the interior of northeast Brazil. They left the state of Ceará and moved 400 miles to the southeast. They settled in the São Francisco River Valley area. The recent built dam had formed the largest man-made lake in Brazil, backing the river for 250 miles. Some cities and villages were relocated. The water covered the old cities. The people were moved out and received houses and land in the newly developed towns. After prayer and serious consideration, Harold and Joan Reiner moved to the new city of Remanso on the northern shore of the newly formed Sobradinho Reservoir. A faithful couple began the work in their home before missionaries arrived. They and a few other Baptist believers had to leave their homes when the reservoir was formed and begin again. This group was able to build a small building for their meetings. When Harold and Joan arrived in Remanso, they were asked to come and work with these Baptist believers in forming a church. Their small church building was renovated with a cement floor and a new front. As the Reiners and the believers witnessed and taught, one by one, souls were saved. After some years, they needed a larger building. Harold designed and built a new structure with the help of Brazilian workers. It is capable of seating 250 people. An adjoining two-story educational wing with 11 classrooms was also built. This church is now under the capable leadership of a national pastor. It has grown to almost 200 members. Joan coordinates the women's activities involving more than 50 women. They now meet together with women from other regular Baptist churches in the valley 3 times a year for all-day meetings. She also carries on an active deaf ministry. A group from the church called Friends of the Deaf have been trained in sign language and are very helpful in reaching and teaching the deaf and giving them God's Word. An important ministry has been the many facets of the work with children. The Sunday school has 11 classes. Also, there's a children's club called EBEC. This means Bible School for the Evangelization of Children. It is similar to the Awana program. About 50 children meet together every Saturday. A dozen or so workers come faithfully to teach all the age groups. Harold and Joan, working closely with the church, carry out extension ministries through the backlands surrounding Remanso. Many rough roads are traveled to hold meetings in front of homes. The men of the church are active in this ministry. They also help in the church kitchen. As the gospel is preached, souls are saved and congregations are formed. Those baptized become members of the Remanso Church. One of these congregations is located in a place called Pereira. This settlement of farms is located 70 kilometers over dirt roads from Remanso. It takes about an hour to get there. This work started when the same couple that began the Remanso Church in their home moved to their interior farm to live. They began meetings in their home. Regular visits from the Remanso Church, along with this couple's faithful witness to their neighbors, resulted in a group of believers who meet together regularly. After some time, Harold, with their help, constructed a building for their meetings. From 40 to 60 people meet there during the week and on Sundays. Some have been baptized and are members of the Remanso Church. There is that never-ending task of maintenance and upkeep of buildings and equipment. The shop for the maintenance of the 3 mission aircraft is located by the Reiner's home in Remanso. Some tools are kept at their hangar where their Piper airplane is kept. Over the years, trusses and benches for church buildings have been built in the shop. Motors have been overhauled. People in town have had repairs done for them. Our camp, called Treasure Island, is located on an island in the Sobradinho Reservoir. It is in constant need of repairs and upkeep. Many from the churches and towns have been saved, and others have dedicated their lives to Christ on this beautiful island that God has given to us. Our boat, which we named Noah 2, has made many 2-hour trips to and from the island camp since it was built in Himonsu in the early 80s. It is an enjoyable ride over the beautiful water of the San Francisco Reservoir. A nice cover shades the campers and crew from the hot sun. All arrive in an enthusiastic mood. Soon all are settled in their cabins. The camp boat, Noah 2, recently underwent a major overhaul on dry land when all of the hull was replaced by new steel plates. The Regional Regular Baptist Seminary of the Kadidi in the neighboring state of Ceará carries on an extension program in the large city of Petrolina. Some of the professors from the seminary travel south to teach extension courses. Missionary Tim Reiner, who lives in Petrolina, is involved in this ministry. Petrolina is 160 miles east of Himonsu. The church presently has men and women taking this 2-year course. They travel 4 hours on the road, going and returning to Himonsu. They attend and study in the modular classes for 8 hours every 2 weeks. The regular Baptist weekly radio program, Live with Christ, is heard within a radius of 300 kilometers. Missionary Doug Reiner and his co-worker Savio carry on this important area ministry. Many hear the gospel weekly on their radio. They can write in to receive a Bible. Harold and Joan thank the Lord for the 5 national pastors and their lovely families, their 2 sons, Tim and Doug, and 2 missionary girls, Ruth and Claudia, whom God has sent to work with them in the San Francisco River Valley. Also, the Byron Atha family will soon join them. The results of the opening of the work in the valley have been as God said in His Word, "Faithful is He that has sent you, who will also do it." It is all of God. As the Lord directs, the Harold Reiners will be returning to their ministries in Brazil after furlough. Would you too pray that the Lord of the harvest would send more workers to Northeast Brazil? The urgent needs are to start more churches and help with camp and radio ministries. Also pray that those whom God calls will go.